So we're going to look at some examples now. First, we're going to start out with finding the volume of prisms. And on some of these, we'll be using Cavalari's principle. It's pretty much the same as it is just for a right prism as it is for an oblique prism. As long as you know the area of the base, just multiply that by the height and you'll find the volume. All right, so our first example is a cube, which is basically a type of rectangular prism, because remember, a square is a rectangle. And so you can use the same formula, basically. So the volume is equal to the area of the base times the height. All right? So the volume of this is equal to the area of the base. If you look at the base as a rectangular square, same thing. 8 times 8, that would be the area of the base, or cross-section. And then you multiply that by the height, which is 8. Obviously, that's 8 cubed. It's the reason they call it a cube. And so the volume here is going to be 512 cubic feet. All right? Let's look at our next example. Here we have a triangular prism. All right? So again, the volume is going to be equal to the area of the base. We use that capital B to indicate the area of the base, and then H for the height, okay? Lowercase b would just be like, say, the base of a triangle or the base of a 2D shape. Uppercase B we use as like the base of a 3D object, okay? So in this case, what forms the base is a triangle. So the volume is going to be, remember the formula for the area of a triangle is 1/2 lowercase b times the height. And then to find the volume, you need to multiply it by the height of the prism, which is 4. Because if you tilted this around the other way, you could lay it down on its side like that, and the 4 would be the height, okay? So the volume here is going to be 1/2. We'll say the base of this triangle is times 3, times the height of the triangle is 1.5. And I'm going to rewrite that just so it looks, so you don't get it confused with the decimal here. And then we're going to multiply, so 1/2, the 3 times 1.5, and then we're going to multiply that by 4. So the volume of this triangular prism is going to be 9 cubic centimeters once you multiply all that on out. Okay? 1/2 of 4 is 2. 2 times 1.5 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. All right? So let's look at our next example here. We're going to have to use a little prior knowledge here to find the height or the base of this triangular prism. If you want to find the base of the triangle, cross-section, okay? So we know that the hypotenuse here is 12, okay? And we know that this would be a 30, 60, 90 triangle, because if this is 90 degrees and that's 30 degrees, that's got to be 60 degrees, okay? So if this is 12, then that's going to make this over here 6. That's the short leg. And then the long leg would be 6 square root of 3, okay? So now we know the base and height of the cross-section triangle, all right? So the area, or the volume again is going to be equal to the area of the base times the height. And again, it's one of those where you'd have to tilt it up if you want to view the 15 as the height, okay? So the volume is equal to 1/2, we'll say 6 square root of 3 times 6. And then if you do the height of the prism, it's 15, okay? So, and it says to round to the nearest tenth if necessary. Obviously, with that 6 square root of 3, we're going to have to do some rounding here. So once you multiply all this on out, we can say it's 467.7 cubic feet. Okay? All right, let's look at number 4 over here. Okay, here we've got an oblique prism. And remember, an oblique prism has the same formula for volume as a right prism. Okay? You just need to know the actual height. Not the slant height, but the actual height. Okay? The vertical height. Okay? So the volume is going to be equal to the area of the base times the height. So the volume is going to equal the base is a rectangle, 10 times 15, and then we're going to multiply that by the height, which is 12, and we're going to end up with 1,800 cubic feet. Okay? Now, let's look at this next example over here. Here we've got a trapezoidal prism, okay? A trapezoid forms the base. So we need to find, again, the volume is equal to the area of the base times the height. Well, the area of the base of a trapezoid, remember, is 1/2 base 1, which is 4, plus base 2, and then you multiply that by the height. So that's how you find the area of the base of this, okay? When we multiply all that on out, the area of the base is going to be 1/2 of 6, which is 3, times 1.5. So the area of the base is going to be 4.5 centimeters squared, okay? So the volume of this trapezoidal prism is going to be equal to the area of the base, which is 4.5, times the height, which is 6. And when we multiply all that on out, the volume is going to be 27 cubic centimeters. There you go. All right, and this one up here, I'm going to circle. Okay, so number 6, again, we've got an oblique prism, and same rules apply. It's equal to the area of the base times the height. The volume is equal to 7 times 4 times 3. And when you multiply that on out, you're going to get 84 cubic yards. And there you go.